Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you are, in whichever realms of existence you are, whatever mind stage you're in, whatever conditions you're in. As always, you're welcome to my channel. And today, I want to do a quick video because I've had one of those aha moments, as Paul Roberts and others have referred to in my Jodo Shinshu journey. I've just about finished watching finally the 4 video discussions that are going on now in the BCA. Is there orthodoxy in Jodo Shinshu, and discussions of of the importance of orthodoxy, etc. Now, I'm going to have some discussions in my Shaku Brothers and other videos about all this to join that discussion and add to it and weigh in on it and things. But I had a massive aha moment here. The light shining, the light of Amida shining while I've been watching this in a number of ways, but one in particular that's not necessarily directly related to the topic of these videos. Sorry, just had to close the door a bit. I'm recording here in the morning, so I just don't want to disturb the rest of the house. So kind of a big kind of, and it hit me with during, or it occurred to me during Reverend Miyagi Sensei's talk of the total of the 4 videos that they've published on the BCA, Center for Buddhist Education channel. During the course of that, I realized that the way I should be approaching my life in Samsara strongly reflects what Renyo Shonin said about, the balance of basically keeping the Dharma law in one's heart, but in everything else, the outer, observing the law, the mundane laws. So now, that's obvious. I've known that for years and been trying to apply it in my own life in various ways for years. But a kind of deeper reflection came out of this as I was listening to Miyagi Sensei's talk and then kind of reflecting on all this it kind of blew my mind a bit, that the importance of that balance. And I haven't really, in my Jodo Shinshu journey, or in most of my Buddhist journey, I would say in general, in my spiritual journey, haven't really got that balance ever very right. I've always overemphasized the spiritual side well, this is not exactly true, because I've also looked at the importance and always been striving to find how should I conduct myself in samsaric existence. I've always looked at politics and society and political philosophy and and all these kinds of things to try to from a Buddhist perspective, to try to do that, how to behave civically and things. That's also been very important. But in a sense, though, in my inward kind of life, my inward judgment, as it were, I have always sort of, it's always been like, well, this is, since that's the ultimate reality, since Buddha nature, Dharmakaya, sunyata, voidness, suchness, Dharma nature is the true reality. That's what's really important. And since, we live in this age, this turbulent, degenerate, regressive, Mapo age, how important is it? It's kind of pales by comparison. So that's kind of been my inward attitude, as it were, inward judgment, inward focus. Which I don't think is entirely wrong, but there hasn't been a real balance with that inwardly, I don't think. And what occurred to me during this, like I said, during this talk here, and after listening to I actually listened to the discussion, the panel discussion first of the three, then listened to three, because I realized, they posted them out of order for some reason on the website. Normally, in the order of the uploaded videos, the earliest one would be the latest one in the list, if you see what I mean. So I was doing it that way, and then I realized, they're talking about, they've already said it, so I reversed it anyway. So I went back and watched the other three. Anyway, so after listening to all four, I should say, and then, I'm part of the way, almost done with Reverend Miyagi's talk, what occurred to me was, it's kind of like the twofold conviction, the importance of the twofold conviction of the light of Amida illumining that, and the realization and acceptance of our Bombu-ness in this life, our intractable egotism, our endless, ceaseless bono, our endless, ceaseless kleshas, our endless, ceaseless miring in the three poisons, the depth of our spiritual evil, the total lack of merit and virtue and wisdom to be able to effectively practice any self-power path, etc., etc. That absolute conviction in the the Bombu side, the twofold conviction, that and then the other side being other power, realization of other power, realization of the truth, the true and real power of Amida's vow, the total other power of it all, the realization of being embraced by ultimate compassion and wisdom of Amida Buddha because of the first side. And so in that moment, the Bombu is both, has the Bombu existence, but also has the Buddha mind. So there's this, even in this samsaric existence, even we're not enlightened, we're not, by that, in that moment, that conviction, we're not enlightened, we're still ordinary, foolish beings, spiritual idiots, etc. But Shinjin has arisen, and we simultaneously have the Bombu existence and mind, and the Buddha mind has been given to us, or been embraced in that. But it's this simultaneous thing, and then I realized that's kind of, there's a larger kind of, on a larger scale. That's kind of a macro scale of how we should approach. That's the micro of how we should approach the macrocosm of samsaric existence versus nirvana, a samsaric existence, but at the same time, but a nature, and that they are one and the same. They are, samsara is no other than nirvana. In that same way that the Bombu is now, in the arising of and settling of Shinjin is the Buddha mind. So it's a similar. It just struck me as this very similar thing, and the importance of that. Like, it's almost like another. That's kind of a further conviction that, has been illumined by Amida for me, about that. And that kind of should what's that word, speak to, or illumine, or guide my approach to the mundane world. It's the mundane and the supramundane, but they're both at the same time. They're both each other at the same time. So both are just as important in the life of me as a Nimbutsu follower, as a Jodo Shinshu Buddhist. And that's how I should approach it. It shouldn't be this emphasizing, I just got to get there. I just got to get to Pure Land. I'm not saying that Pure Land is here and now. I'm not saying we're enlightened here and now. I'm just saying we through Shinjin, we are saved in this life here and now, but we're still Bombu. But it informed this aha moment I just had. It's really informed informed what my approach should be in a bigger way than I possibly even ever conceived or imagined. So I think that kind of covers. I might make a longer video at some point about this, but that's gonna kind of reach into now my, as you know, my channel. I've been really exploring, like, how do the Dharma masters say we should behave in this world, conduct ourselves, ethically and civically and morally, and etc., even though we're Bombu and incapable of precepts and etc. And how should we, approach, the world and politics and all that kind of stuff. I've been really struggling with that. And this moment, this aha moment is definitely going to be informing that now going forward. So I'm very, very happy and excited about that.
Nice transition.
Sometimes, MacLeod, the sharpest blade is not enough.
And today, the light is really shining on me here from the front window, kind of, as almost like Amida's light shining upon my life and samsaric existence, illumining my way. Anyway, the thing I want to talk about today is the accepting my karma. I really accept my karma. I really, whatever the karmic outcome is in this lifetime, I accept that. I look forward to it. I've, you can kind of see some pretty horrible things coming down the pike in the next few to several years. Very easily and very imminently. Any one of which doesn't leave much of a good outcome for us, for individuals and whole groups of people on the planet. So I don't look forward to that in my own case. I don't, I accept my own karmic causes and conditions and outcomes, and that of our collective karmic causes and conditions and outcomes. But I don't look forward to it on my own sake, and I don't look forward to it on behalf of the rest of the world. But I do accept it. That occurred to me. I've been enabled, I should say, to accept it by Amida, by Amida's working, by Amida's light. I've been empowered to accept it. And that's all the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful of that. That includes accepting Amida's, good from the past. I certainly accept that. And in my Hakurai, there were times where I wouldn't. But I've been enabled, I've been empowered to fully accept it. As much as a Bombu can accept one's karmic causes and conditions and outcomes. Karmic destiny, if you will. And that means accepting my karmic destiny is already happening. It's already like my karmic, the good from the past of Amida has ripened to such an extent that Shin Buddhism envelops my life. It's ripened to such an extent that I can hear the teaching, truly hear the teaching, truly do Dharma dialogue, truly deeply reflect, truly walk the Jodo Shinshu path. Enabled, again, empowered by Amida to do so. So that's happening. That's been happening. It's already happening. But as I say, there's I accept the it's kind of like I accept the kind of samsaric part of that as well as the nirvanic part of it. I accept being destined for Pure Land through Amida's transference of merit and Shinjin. And all that entails, and all the transformation in this life that entails. And I also accept that there's going to be some samsaric consequences. There's going to be some samsaric outcomes that will probably not be very pleasant. And all the sufferings that go along with that. As I say, I don't look forward to it, but I accept it. And I have a kind of peace about that. And it's because I ultimately know the ultimate destiny is Pure Land. The ultimate destiny is Pure Land and return as a Buddha, which in some sense, Amida's transference of merit for going forth and for returning, that's already happened. There's no limit to that power and that flow of things. I don't limit that at all. So that's already happening, kind of both ways, in a sense. Not saying I'm in Pure Land. I'm not saying that I'm not a Bombu. I am certainly a Bombu. But simultaneously, Amida is working. Simultaneously, Amida's power is flowing through my mind stream. Simultaneously, with being a Bombu, being a foolish being, being full of bono and kleshas and ignorance, and the three poisons: ignorance, attachment, aversion, all of that. Simultaneously, Amida's light, Amida's power, Amida is working in my mind stream, and has been for countless immeasurable lifetimes. So, and I don't limit that in any way. I might not be able to conceive of it or articulate it very well, but neither do I limit it. So I obviously happily embrace and accept that and look forward to more, and am grateful for all that has transpired because of that. But that I kind of feel is that's the Nirvanic side, that's the Buddha mind side, that's the Tathagata side, that's the the samsaric side. Took a bit longer to accept. Took a bit longer to genuinely accept it. Took a bit longer for that enabling to happen. But it has happened. I have a genuine sort of peace about that. No, I do, obviously I'm not looking forward to really, the horrible things coming, or what, however it's going to play out. But there's this underlying piece. I've talked about that before. And now that underlying piece is kind of spread or moved into this area of my life, if you like, if I can say it that way. So whatever happens is gonna, I'm okay with it. I accept it, And somehow I know there isn't really avoiding it to whatever extent. I mean, I know Amida's transformation does alter a lot of things. And I don't limit what that can alter. But at the same time, I know the other side of that as well. Simultaneously, I know, there's going to be, living in a burning house, you're going to get burned. If you're living in a burning house, you're going to get burned. If everything's burning, like the fire sermon says of Shakyamuni, then, you're going to get burnt. at some point. It's gonna get hot. You're gonna get burnt. You're gonna get scarred. You're gonna get blistered. You're gonna get, you know, figuratively speaking, third degree burns. Terrible, and it could be even literally, actually, karmically speaking, if that's what, things lead to. But anyway, I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself, but there's this, it kind of occurred to me just like the other day, that quite recently, that, whatever comes, not only I deserve it's karmically deserved, but I'm just, I'm okay, I'm okay with it. I'm not looking forward to horrible things or bad things or painful things or suffering or, but it's hard to explain. I'm okay with it on some level, in some way. I feel like I'm been given that. I've been enabled, as I say, empowered to be okay with it. And sort of take whatever comes. Because I know the ultimate outcome is what is already happening. The ultimate outcome is not just going to Pure Land and returning. It's the ultimate outcome is already what's already happened and transpiring. So I don't need to. Just the knowledge that I'm going to Pure Land isn't the only thing. That it's what's happening now. It's what's happening now. It's what I know has been happening through countless past existences, is right up through this whole lifetime. That gives you that inward. There's an inward peace for all of that. So, yeah, I think this reflection has gone on for as long as it had to. So, looks like lately I'm making more of these shorter. They're getting a bit shorter. I'm getting a bit. Maybe I'm being enabled to be a bit less verbose, less winded, less whatever. Anyway, so thank you for listening. And I'll just say some nembutsu to finish out this video. Fix my nenju. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. All right, thank you very much. Until next time.